To begin today's exploration, we will write the equations of the lines given. Okay, line A, I'm going to call the pink line. Your y-intercept is 3. Here's another point. The delta y is 4 and delta x is 5. And as we look at this line from left to right, it is increasing, so our slope is positive 4 over 5. Y equals 4 over 5x plus 3 is the equation of line A, the pink line. Line B has a y-intercept of -3. And another point here. Our slope for this one is 5 over 4. This line is also increasing as we look at it from left to right, so it's positive 5 over 4. Our equation is y equals 5 over 4x minus 3. Now draw a line T, that intersects lines A and B. Okay, we're going to make up our own line now. So I get to pick really anything. A y-intercept, I'm going to pick 0, 0, 0, and a slope so that this line intersects the other two lines. I'm going to choose a slope of -1. This will intersect. So our slope is -1 over 1, or you can write that as -1. The equation would be y equals -1x plus 0. We don't need to put plus 0. And there are so many possibilities of lines that could intersect. Line T has a special name. It's called a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects at least 2 lines. So line T, the orange line, is a transversal. Now the transversal actually creates some angles. Here's an angle, here's an angle, here's an angle, here's an angle. And of these 8 angles, we have some that are exterior, outside of the lines that were intersected, and we have some angles that are interior, inside the lines that were intersected. And the way that I actually visualize it is that the first 2 lines are like the edges of a riverbank. So here's the river, and the angles that are inside, that are in the water, are interior angles, and the angles that are outside on the riverbank are exterior angles. So we're going to label this angle as INT, interior. This one is interior. This one is interior, and this one as well. And the ones on the riverbank are exterior angles, and we'll label those with EXT for exterior. Let's do it again. This time it looks like the lines we were given are perhaps parallel. So let's check it out. The y-intercept is 2. Another point is up 2 over 5. And this line is decreasing as you look at it from left to right. So it's -2 over 5. Y equals -2 over 5x plus 2. The y-intercept here looks to be like -1, and hey, it looks like they will be parallel lines. This one's also decreasing, so -2 over 5 is the slope. Y equals -2 over 5x minus 1. Now draw a line, line C, that intersects lines A and B. So I can pick anything. I'm going to choose -4 as my y-intercept. And I'm going to choose a slope of 3. 1 up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1. Does that intersect? Looks like it does. That equation is y equals 3 over 1, or 3x, minus 4. Is line C a transversal to lines A and B? Yes. Remember, transversals, a transversal is a line that intersects at least 2 lines. And line C here does intersect both lines A and B. Yes, line C intersects lines A and B, so line C is a transversal. But they've also asked us to label our interior and exterior angles. So imagine that the first 2 lines, A and B, created a river. So your interior angles are in the water, your exterior are outside. So I'll write exterior and the ones inside are your interior. That angle right there. Label exterior angles and interior angles. Okay, we're also going to label our transversal as T. From now on, anytime you see a transversal, we'll label it T. Here it looks like T is the red line because it intersects the blue lines. So the blue lines make up the river, and the exterior angles are outside of it. And your interior angles are on the inside. Okay, let's do this one. Looks like this red line is our transversal. It crosses both the blue lines. The blue lines make up a little river. So my exterior angles are on the river banks. And my interior angles are inside. There are also geometry symbols for parallel lines. Okay, what if you have parallel lines that are not on a coordinate plane? Well, the symbol for parallel lines, when you have 2 lines that are parallel, they should have a marking of a sort of arrow on top of the line, or double is fine, letting you know that these 2 lines are parallel. There's also notation for when you type it out, and that is 2 straight lines up and down. Let's label the exterior and interior angles. First of all, here is my transversal T. T crosses lines A and B, so lines A and B make up the river. My exterior angles are outside. And the interior ones are inside. Line A is parallel to line B. So let's fill it in. Line A is parallel to line B. Now we have some new notation. A parallel to line B. First, let's label our transversal. This line looks like it is crossing. It doesn't have a specific name, but the points on the line can also be used to name the line. So I see that points A and C are on the transversal. I can see from this notation, this little arrow, that these lines are parallel. But how do I refer to those lines? Well, you can talk about those lines using the letters of the points, of some points that are on those lines. I see A, B are points on the first line, and C and D are points on the second line. So I will say line AB, and remember in geometry to indicate that it's a line, we'll put a line on top. AB is parallel to line, this one has points C and D on it, so line CD. Use that notation again. Line AB now parallel to line CD. We just have to indicate which lines are parallel. Here are my little arrows, so it's the lines with the little arrows on it, the matching arrows. Do you see any letters on this line? I see T and I see S. Large letters indicate points, smaller letters indicate angles in this diagram. So yes, TS, the line TS is parallel to this line. Ooh, I see a P, a Q, and an R. You can use several things to label this line, but I'm just going to use the outer points, PR. Don't forget to put a line on top to indicate that it's a line. Geometry notation, TS, line TS is parallel to line PR. We have one arrow to indicate that this line is parallel to the line with one arrow on it. And we have two arrows to indicate that this line is parallel to the two arrowed line. So the yellow line is made up of points A and D. Line AD is parallel to line BC. AD is parallel to BC. And lines AB and DC are also parallel. AB is parallel to DC. So, to recap, I know that LO is parallel to VE because of these little arrows. The interior angles are given by the ones inside those lines in the water, so 3, 4, 5, and 6. And our outer exterior angles would be 1, 2, 8, and 7. And T is the transversal.